So we continue the discussion which we had last time. Try to make the things more interesting, and also it's a very challenging task. I am sure that you must not have searched the video and watched it. Even today means now we say that the amount of general education was less in our country. Many people did not know many things. This was a situation few decades back. But as of today, now everything is known to everybody. It is what we can say. It's not that we are now worried about where I can get. The worry today is this. Just like earlier there was drought, म्हणजे दुष्काळ होता, त्याचं काही मिळायचं नाही, दुष्काळामध्ये पाणी नसायचं, आणि दुष्काळ अतिवृष्टी. So now there is what we can say abundance of information, and the problem is what to choose. Means just like on YouTube, even though there is lot of information, there is now limit to what you can actually watch. In a day, if you decide that I will watch for 5 hours, but whatever, and means just like we are in a greed of information, we download many things. Even the life is not sufficient to watch all of them. So that's the scenario. However, still, even today, there are few areas in which there is a lack of information, and one of such areas is the proportion of the voting system or proportional representation. It is something where there is still lack of information, and the question is asked that how we should design that. Last time it was told that there are 100 voters and 3 representatives are to be chosen. What should be the method by which we can choose in most scientific way? It may have its own flaws, but the most optimum method. So whether anybody of you has come up with the solution? What everyone will get if there are 3 seats and more than 3 candidates? It can be 4, it can be 10. It's immaterial. If it is 3, then no voting, unopposed. But when the number of candidates are more than number of seats available, there has to be election. So there will be a ballot paper. So the ballot paper will contain names of the candidates which are more than number of seats, right? And then each elector, each voter has to mark something on that. In the conventional, if it is 1 seat, he puts the stamp, right? If there are multiple seats, then if you put 1 stamp, last time we discussed that if one is very much popular, the other 2 are not chosen, other 2 are chosen randomly. They don't carry the, what we can say, popular vote. Whereas if you give 3, then the proportionality is lost. If there are 2 groupings, and in 100 one grouping is having weightage of 60 and others 40, then all 3 are getting elected of the group which is having majority of 60. So that also we don't. We want proportion, means the representatives elected should represent the collective wisdom, collective opinion of the electorate. म्हणजे निवडून आलेल्या प्रतिनिधींनी मतदारांचं योग्य ते प्रतिनिधित्व केले पाहिजे, प्रमाणशीर प्रतिनिधित्व. इट शुड रिफ्लेक्ट. आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल सांगतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, we are having some grains, काही धान्य असतं, तर त्यामध्ये आता चांगल्या प्रतीचं किती आहे आणि काही खराब असतात. मग आता समजा काही क्विंटल धान्य आहे, मग त्यात 20 क्विंटल धान्य आहे आणि त्याची प्रतवारी करायची आहे. मग प्रतवारी करताना काही गहू आहे समजा, तर गहू हे पोकळ असतात, काही पिचलेले असतात. मग चांगला गहू कुठला, ज्यात पिचलेल्या गव्हाचं प्रमाण कमी आहे. मग आता तुम्हाला समजा 50 क्विंटल गव्हातनं तुम्ही ते काढू नाही शकत. जर का तुम्ही सगळे काढता आले तर सगळे काढले पिचलेले गहू, एक 5% आले तर ते तुम्ही पुन्हा मिसळून हे 5% पिचलेल्या गव्हाचा लॉट का सांगणार नाही. पण प्रॉब्लेम काय आहे, इतके सगळे सॉर्ट करता येत नाही. आता सॉर्ट करता येत नाही म्हटल्यानंतर मग ते विकायचे तुम्हाला. तर समजा त्यात एका प्रमाणापेक्षा जास्त तसं थोडेसे खराब गहू आहे आणि ते तुम्ही विकले तर तुम्हाला ते तो कस्टमर आहे तो ओरडेल. म्हणून तुम्हाला कस्टमरला सांगता काय सांगितलं पाहिजे, हा ह्या लेवलचा गहू, याचा दर इतका आहे, हा ह्या लेवलचा, याचा दर इतका आहे. मग कदाचित तो स्वतः सॉर्टिंग करेल. मग ते आता काय करतो आपण, कसं त्याचं हे करणार, एकूण जे गहू 50 क्विंटल 100 क्विंटल आहे त्यामध्ये पिचलेल्या गव्हाचं पर्सेंटेज किती आहे हे कसं काढणार आपण, ते सगळं मोजता येईल का. ते सगळं मोजता आलं असतं तर मग मी पर्सेंटेज, तेच खराब गव्हाचं पर्सेंटेज काढण्याकरता मी सगळे गहू मोजू शकलो असतो. तर मग माझ्यासारखा मूर्ख मीच की त्यातले सगळे खराब मोजलेत आणि पुन्हा ते खराब मिसळून हे 2% खराब आणून विकतोय. जर मी खराब सगळे गहू सॉर्ट करून तर मी खराब वेगळेच काढून ना, ते शक्य नाही आहे. क्वांटिटी इतकी आहे की ते शक्य नाही. तर काय त्याला करायला लागेल, कसं करतो आपण, सॅम्पलिंग कधी करतो आपण, सॅम्पल बेसिस चेकिंग हे कधी करतो, ज्यावेळी संपूर्ण चेकिंग पॉसिबल नाही आहे तेव्हा मी सॅम्पल चेकिंग, रॅन्डम सॅम्पल. मग मी काय करणार, 50 क्विंटल भरपूर गहू आहे तर ते कधी होईल, समजा मी एकाच भागातला थोडा 10 किलो घेतला आणि त्याच्यातले मोजले तर ते चुकीच ठरेल, कारण कदाचित त्या भागात खराब असू शकते. म्हणून मी काय करणार, प्रत्येक भागात थोडे थोडे, एक मूठ म्हणजे या रूम इतके सगळे गहू पसरले असतील तर प्रत्येक थोड्या थोड्या इक्वली स्पेस्ड एरियामधनं एक थोडे थोडे सॅम्पल काढणार आणि ते मोजणार. म्हणजे हिअर in a theory of large numbers, what is the what in a law of large numbers, त्यामध्ये असे येतं की when the quantity is abundantly large and if I collect sufficient samples from different places, in that case the percentage of what we can say rough grains or bad quality grains is same as that of total. म्हणजे थिअरी ऑफ लार्ज नंबर्स प्रमाणे खूप मोठ्या स्पेस मध्ये व्हॉट इज सफिशियंट, सफिशियंट किती, समजा तुम्ही 100 क्विंटल पैकी 10 ग्रॅम 100 ठिकाणी काढले, 1 किलो घेतलं, त्याच्याऐवजी 10 ग्रॅम 1000 ठिकाणी काढले 10 किलो घेतलं. असं किती, जेवढं सॅम्पल जास्त तेवढं ॲक्युरेसी जास्त. मग आता उगाच एखादा म्हणेल मला माझं समाधान होत नाही, मग मी काय करणार, मी सगळंच घेतो. सगळंच घ्यायचं शक्य नाही ना ते. म्हणून साधक मग कुठं थांबायचं, समजा मी एकच घेतला सॅम्पल, एकच घेतला आणि तोच खराब निघाला, मग याचा अर्थ काय होईल, एखादा शाळा काय म्हणेल सगळाच लॉट खराब आहे, तेव्हा तेही नाही. मग मी सफिशियंट सॅम्पल आहे कधी म्हणणार, when I will say that the sample is sufficient. मी जर हॅलो So where to stop? What is the proper sample space? Because it again it's a common sense question. Everybody of you should be able to answer. Where to stop? 1% sufficient hai, 2%, 0.1%, किती? Normally 1% चालतं. When I say 1% that sampling is sufficient, means if I find, I know actually, I can do the experiment by actual mixing of bad grains and good grains. I will construct, to get the idea, I will construct a pseudo-random scenario. Means I will mix 3% of actual bad grains in good grains, 97 quintal of good grains, 3 quintal of bad grains that I will actually mix and distribute. I know what is the percentage of bad grains, 3%. Then I will collect samples, small samples from various places. If I collect only few, say 100 grams total, in 100 grams I may find that 100 gram sample may have 10% bad grains, one may have 1%. Then I will move from 100 to 200, 1 kg, 2 kg, 10 kg. Where I find that I am going close to 3%. And each time I increase the sample space, my accuracy has to increase. But when I find that I am now sufficiently close to actual answer, म्हणजे आता अगदी आपण एकदम सोपं उदाहरण घेऊया. आता ग्रेडिंग मध्ये तर वेगळा विषय आहे. ऍक्च्युली आजच्या काळात सुद्धा ज्या बऱ्याच गोष्टी लोकांना माहित नाही, त्यातलं प्रपोर्शनल रिप्रेझेंटेशन सिस्टम एक आहे आणि रिलेटिव्ह ग्रेडिंग दुसरा आहे. तुम्हाला ग्रेड मिळाली आहे पण ती काय सांगता येत नाही, कशी काढली येते. इन ए पर्टिक्युलर सब्जेक्ट यू गॉट BB grade. What does it mean? You don't know. But grades from the marks. So up to 10th, you are having direct marks. Out of 100, 53, 55 like that. Now suppose that you get good marks. For good marks you have to take efforts. Right? Then more efforts, more marks. Then when at some point of time you stop. Where you stop, you come to know that yes, if I study this subject for 10 hours, I will get 50%. 20 hours, I will get 55%. 30 hours, 59. 60 hours, 75. And then even if I study now for 100 hours, from 75 I will hardly move to 76. Means when you come to know that you have reached at such a stage from where by increasing the efforts your score rise is marginal, very negligible. So you stop there. Like that, sample space. When you increase sampling, accuracy increases. But accuracy has reached to such a good stage that even if you go on increasing sampling, there is no much improvement. And in that case, one of the major theme of sampling is sample space must be substantially less than actual space. Because why sampling is done? Doing the same thing on actual all entities is impractical. Therefore sampling is done. So sampling should be as less as possible but sufficient to reflect good accuracy. So like that, in a democratic setup, number of electors and number of representatives, there should be some ratio. And that representatives should reflect the average opinion of the electorate. So 3 should be chosen by some kind of proportion of here 3, it can be 5, it can be 10. Say there can be proportional representation is not possible in mass because of it is complicated, and even today our average electorate will not be able to exercise it appropriately. Otherwise it is the best method. In fact, actually there are many methods, each has got its own advantage, disadvantage. As an exercise you try to study the election of US President, one of the very complex systems you study that and check its pros and cons. Okay, we focus here. Then how voting should be done? In this, number of representatives to be chosen are 3. Number of candidates are more than 3. It can be 4 or it can be 40. And number of electors are 100. Then what they should do? What is the best method? The best method actually, in convention system, when we vote first past the post, we put stamp only for one. Now there are 10 candidates. So as an elector, when you will say that whatever you wanted to say about these 10 candidates, you have said it completely. म्हणजे 10 उमेदवार, जागा किती आहेत हे महत्व नाही आहे, एक असेल तर 7 असतील. There are candidates aspiring to be elected. Aspirants, candidates, उमेदवार. आणि तुम्ही मतदार. 10 उमेदवार असतील तर त्यांच्या बाबतीमध्ये काय तुम्ही कृती केली की तुम्हाला वाटलं की आता माझ्या बाजूने मला जे काही वाटत होतं ते मी संपूर्णपणे इंडिकेट केलंय. बाकी निवडून काही येईल ते माझ्या एकट्यावर नाही आहे, पण मला जे काही वाटतं यांच्याबद्दल that I have expressed completely. So what you get a slip, a ballot paper. On this ballot paper, what we have got? On this ballot paper there is candidate name, serial number is immaterial, name and response. You have to say something. And A, B, C, D, E, F, P, Q, R, X, Y, Z. There are some candidates, say 10 candidates. How many is also immaterial? Some candidates are there. So you have to say, give some response here, so that what kind of method you think is perfect, so that once you come out of the voting compartment after putting your responses, you should say that yes, now I am completely satisfied. What do you think? What should be proper method? How many seats is immaterial? You should be completely satisfied that whatever you wanted to convey about all these candidates, you have conveyed. So, काय कुठली मेथड चांगली असेल? Sometimes you are given chance that you should only put one stamp. So you choose whatever you like most. That's enough. That's all. Then if you are given 2 stamps, you can put 2 stamps or 3 stamps. Then there are 2 things. Number 1, you are forced to equate. If you are asked to put 3 stamps, no doubt that you can discriminate. Remember, when there are candidates and the number of seats are less than the candidates, the electors' role is to discriminate. म्हणजे तिथं भेदभाव आवश्यक आहे. म्हणजे नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी सर्वसामान्य असू शकत नाही. जेव्हा जागा कमी आणि उमेदवार जास्त तेव्हा मतदारांनी त्याच्यामध्ये तुलना केली पाहिजे. सो इफ यू आर टोल्ड दॅट यू शुड पुट 3 स्टॅम्प्स, देन you are forced to put 3. So you are able to segregate between total 10 है, 3 and 7. 3 you most like and 7 you don't like to that extent. जेव्हा एक होतं तेव्हा most एकापर्यंत having one stamp is okay. Yes, I like him most. I like him most. That's okay. But to have 3 is wrong. Why? Because the other 2 you don't like to that extent, but you are forced to put. So what should be the best method where you would be able to express yourself to the ultimate extent, to the best of the level? जे काही म्हणायचं ते मी म्हणून घेतलेलं आहे. What to do method? So that on a single ballot paper you express yourself fully. काय करता येईल? What should be the ideal method? What should be the response? In the response column, what should be there? Not stamp, but something else. And what that can be? In the response column, there should be something else. That should be simple again. That should be simple again. Not essay. Otherwise, हा उमेदवार आहे, हा होपलेस आहे, हा असा करतो, यानं असं केलेलं आहे, याचा काही उपयोग नाही. हा बरा वाटतो, पण हा असा या ठिकाणी चुकतो. So if it is essay type, then even the notebook is not sufficient as a ballot paper. You can write anything. So that should not be there. It should be simple to exercise and simple to count. The response should be such, simple to exercise, it should not be time consuming, and it should be easily countable. Stamp fully नाही, शिक्का नाही, fully नाही, तर दुसरं काय? What can be there? So that your opinion about all is fully reflected. Huh? Rating. How?
1 to 10 or 1 to
1, right? She said exactly. How do you rate? There are 10 candidates. Rating up to 10 is of no use. Just like say there's one class in which there are 10 students. One student comes 10th and he goes back to his home and says, yes, I secured 10th place in my class. Then people ask, how many total students were there? He says 10. Means 10th rating in 10 is meaningless. So meaningful rating, even if you do it, there is no point, there is no harm. But meaningful ratings are, if there are n candidates, then meaningful ratings are 1 to n minus 1. Means I like someone, 1, then next I like. What do I have to do? The candidate which I like most, I should put 1. Then, if this candidate was not there, how I should go on voting? The candidate whom I like, I should put 1. Then I should ask me question. If this candidate was not contesting, what would have happened? Remaining would have contested. There are total 10 candidates. If this is not, this I mark as 1. If this was not contesting, then the remaining 9 would have contested. In that, whom I should have chosen? In front of that, I should put 2. Like that, I should exercise 1 to 9. Even if 10th is the person which I least like or I dislike. That is 10th option. So that is a meaningless option. If number of and it is independent of number of seats. Number of seats is immaterial. A method where the elector marks his preference order from 1 to n minus 1 in case of n candidates is fullest reflection of his mind. Is okay? That is the perfect method. Now it is done. There are 10 candidates. three seats are, seats can be 1, seats can be 2, seats can be 8, anything. So let us start with the theme of seats 10. What should be done? How counting should take? Okay, we start with 1 seat. What should happen? बघा लक्षात आलं? 100 मतदार, 10 उमेदवार, 10 उमेदवारांची नावं असलं बॅलेट पेपर. प्रत्येक मतदार त्याच्यावर 1 ते 9 लिहिणं त्याला हवे त्या सिक्वेन्सनं. That's also there are 100 ballot papers put in the ballot box. Each ballot paper contains a sequence 1 to 9. It may be different from different voter. If there is only 1 seat to be elected, how should we start counting? There are 10 candidates and 1 seat, only 1 representative. How things should proceed? Obviously, the ballot paper should be sorted based on first preference. Suppose that candidate A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. A to Z. There are 10 candidates, right? So one gets 30 votes. B 30 just 20 votes. B gets 22. C gets 25. Like that. So what should happen? Like this, votes are there. Then what should happen? When we should say that, but okay, I will take an example of 10. So, 10 नको जास्त झाले जरा. 6 घेऊया. काउंटिंग सोपं होईल आपल्याला, बरोबर? 6. A, B, C, D, E, F. 100 मध्ये देऊ. So A gets 20, B gets 53, C gets 9, D gets 2. So what will happen? What is the result? Who is a, and only 1 seat is there. 1 seat. Who should get elected? B has got elected, right? Is it okay? Everybody agrees. Now, I make a small change. Let us have somewhat less votes for B. Now what should happen? Will you say that B is elected still or no? B is elected? Think for a while. What should happen? Is there any doubt in your mind? Somebody should answer. Yes or no? Whether B is elected? What is the use of this was there if there was just a stamp? फक्त शिक्का असता तर B आला असता निवडून. There is a preference here. माझा उपयोग काय? नुसता शिक्का मारला नाही आहे. प्रत्येक मतदान what each elector has done, he has put number 1 to someone, number 2 to some other, and so on. So if some candidate gets 51 or more first preference votes, then he gets elected. At the distribution of first preference votes, if some candidate gets 51 or more first preference votes, then he gets elected, because even other candidates get eliminated one by one, still the closest contestant will not be able to rise. In first case, one has got 53, but now he has got 37. So B, and then there is A, 20. So we can't say that B is having highest first preference, but we can't say that he is a clear winner. B is having highest first preference, but he is not clear winner. So how will you proceed further to establish clear winner? How will you proceed? Check which second preference votes. Who? Now the method is D is to be eliminated. Means those who are having less following in first preference votes, had they not been in the contest, how voting would have taken place? If D उभारलाच नसता, तर ज्याने D ला 1 नंबर दिलाय त्याने 1 नंबर कोणाला दिला असतं? ज्याने D ला आत्ता 2 नंबर दिले त्याने 1 नंबर दिला असतं. So D is eliminated and all ballot papers of D are counted for the second preference and distributed according to second preference, and if it is plus 5 to this and plus 1 to this, so this will become 25, 37, 13, 0, 11 and 40. Now 25, 37 still not over. Sorry. Alright, still not over. Now what is to be done? Who is to be eliminated? E is to be eliminated. So E has how many votes? 10 first preference and 1 second preference. So each is to be counted for next preference. Means second preference on these 10 votes and third preference on this vote. So these 11 get distributed, say like this, plus 9 here, no here, plus 2 here, and 0. So it becomes 34, 37, 13, 0, 0, 60. Now again, this needs to be eliminated. So if this 13 is having 9 here, 2 here, 9 here, 2 here, and it is also likely that these 13 votes are first preference votes. Out of these 13, 9 second are with him, 2 second are with him, and 2 second are here. Right? To D means the votes of eliminated candidate are to be transferred according to next preference to remaining continuing candidates. म्हणजे काय करायचं? 9 here, 2 here and 2 here, but he is already eliminated, so इथे द्यायचीच नाही. त्याच्यातलाच थर्ड प्रेफरन्स कुठे बघायचं. आणि समजा तो इथे असेल, राईट, बघतानाच इलिमिनेटेड कॅन्डिडेटला कुठला असेल त्यातला बघायचं, त्याच्या नेक्स्ट जायचं. 18. So it is 43, 39 and 18. And then these 18 are distributed. Second preference on 14, third preference on 2, and maybe fourth preference, depends upon. Next preference. Which preference is to be calculated? When F gets eliminated, F may have some preference. Maybe first, maybe second. Next preference. To amongst continuing candidates. If next is somewhere this, now there becomes 0. If next is either here or here or here, next to that, till amongst these two. And of these 18, if there are 12 here and 6 here, this becomes 55, and this becomes 45, and A gets selected and not B. Is it right? Is it okay? So I think this was simple. So what is quota? Quota is number of votes upon number of seats plus 1. Votes 100, seats 1. So 100 by 2, 100 by 2, 50, and next integer. 51 is the quota. 51. Or to be rather precise, you not the next integer. It is 50 plus epsilon, which is a infinitesimally small value. So what is quota? If scientifically asked, what is quota? Quota is 50 plus 51. म्हणजे अगदी शाळेतले मज उत्तर झालं. 50 wrong answer. Both can get 50. Quota is 50 plus. Fractional येत नाही. We will see how it comes. Is it okay? So as long as there was one seat, हे I think हे तर कळलंच पाहिजे. हे कळत नसेल तर आपण विचार केला पाहिजे. Now I move to next complex level, and then we will discuss for some time, and then that question I will leave unanswered, which you should develop further. If there are 2 seats, काय करायला लागेल? Same thing. 6 candidates, 100 voters, ballot paper same, preference they do in the same manner. Seats are 2. Then how election should take place? And this is the same again. This is same. So how we should elect? I will take 2 cases. There are 2 seats. There are 2 seats, 100 voters, 6 candidates. Voting is like this. What will you say? Whether A and B have got elected, will you say like that? Wait for a while and think. what will happen? Are these two elected? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now let us have another thing. So here you say, okay, this and this. Now I will change some more. Now what will you say? Yes or no? Huh? Why? So when we will say that one is elected? When number of posts or number of seats are 2, what should be the number of first paper's votes to get him elected? काय पाहिजे कसं पाहिजे किती वोट्स पाहिजे 30
34 plus.
both are wrong both are wrong I deliberately say both are wrong so at least you should give a correct answer both are wrong but very close to correct answer I refine my statement both are wrong but very close to correct answer and what is the correct answer 30
3.33.
no it should be the
33.33 plus epsilon.
no
Between 35 and 40.
earlier I said 50 by 50 plus when I say plus it is epsilon right but 50 that time 100 by 2 was 50 so now based on that what will you say
100/3.
plus that's 100 by 3 plus now हे खूपच सायंटिफिक आणि इतकं सिस्टमॅटिक काही गरज नाही त्याचं काय कुठला अलॉय हे होत नाही सो व्हॉट वी से इन्स्टेड ऑफ दिस वी सेम फ्रॅक्शन्स सो व्हॉट वी डू ॲज यू आर डुईंग 100 बाय 3 आपण करतो ते किती येतं 33.33 सो ऑन तर त्याच्यापेक्षा नेक्स्ट 33.34 right is okay why you say that it is enough how many seats are there quota is 33.34. उद्या मी म्हणतो 30 quota काय होईल? If I say 30 is the quota, what may happen? What should be quota? Quota should be that smallest number which the number of candidates more than number of seats should not get. कोटा किती पाहिजे? कोटा 40 ठेवला, चूक आहे. There are two conditions. समज 30 को, if you keep quota as 30, what will happen? 3 may get 30 and remaining get 3-4 votes. So 3 can be elected. 40 ठेवला okay, पण तो खूप जास्त आहे. What is 33.34? It is a minimum number such that maximum 2 can get it. 3 can't get it because if it is 3, it is 100.02, which is greater than 100. Is it right? 33.4 into 3 is 100.02, which is greater than 100. So 3 can't get it. Is it clear? Smallest such number which the number of people more than number of seats can't get. 33.34. So at the first instance, the vote is integer, and then at the second instance it goes on refining. So in this case now what should happen? In this case what should happen? In this case, what should happen? Nobody is elected. Then this should be eliminated. Prior to that, I want to make a small change. This I will consider. Prior to that, I will take previous example. That is, let this 24 be as it is. Now what? Now what? It's a very interesting question. What has happened now here? What is quota? Quota is 33.34. So, who has completed the quota? Candidate B has completed the quota. So, B has got elected. B has got elected. But what about others now? What about how we should proceed next? It's a very interesting question which I would like to pose in front of you. B is elected. What next? The number of votes obtained by B are much more than he required. So he has got surplus. How much? 6.66. B has got 6.66 surplus. So now how things should move forward? What should happen? Is it, whether the question is clear? No rocket science, no new invention, no relativity theory. Everything is simple, common sense, but requiring some academic and analytical rigor. Now what should happen? What next? What will you do? B is elected, but the process is not complete because we have to elect 2 seats.